Christina Poncher and former WBO 140-pound champ Chris Algieri here with you. Thank you for joining us around the world.
Lopez from the orthodox position, left hand, left foot in front. Notice they're toe-to-toe.
Compared to 137 World Championship rounds for Teofimo Lopez. Or for Vasiliy Lomachenko, excuse me.
You see Lomachenko beginning to loosen up some.
Look forward to bringing that to you as we move forward. Christina Poncher and Chris Algieri here with you. Round 2 of this unification lightweight fight.
I'm actually surprised to see Lomachenko moving to his left, which is into the power hand, the right hand of Teofimo Lopez, which is why I think some of those body shots have been able to touch the champion thus far.
Teofimo Lopez saying the jab is going to be key. I want to touch the body early and make sure I'm finding that right distance.
Good
as he tags
shot.
the body with the left hand. It's not his natural weight class. He's much more comfortable at 130 pounds, but at the time, just not a lot of good fights for him to make. Not a chance for him to really unify it.
Power of Teofimo versus the multiple combination punching from Lomachenko. Beautiful slip underneath. I mentioned the level changes. He sets that up with beautiful boxing, great judgment, and good range. Ooh, good shots from the champion.
Beautiful shots. Got to be clear, because we got two champs in there. Good. So, Chris, I don't know how yours is, but we'll see what we can make of it here.
I don't think it's much better than yours, honestly. So,
I think probably part of that reason is because of the mouth of Teofimo's father.
Landing occasional body shots and countering just like that.
The hand speed of Lopez, too, on display in that combination as Lomachenko answers right back.
I actually believe, I think some people might argue with me, but I actually believe that Lopez is the faster of the two. It's just that Lomachenko is such a good rhythm fighter.
Oh, good body shot there, left hand on the way out by Lopez. And he's got him back up against the ropes. That's where he wants Loma. And a good counter combination landed there from Lomachenko. And there's, again, that right hand. Bernardo Osuna reporting from ringside that Teofimo's father loves that looping right hand and feels like that has been the difference. And with footwork being such an integral part, and it's one of the things I love about watching Vasiliy Lomachenko fight is how beautiful he works his feet.
To make Lopez miss, but I think he needs to utilize strikes with that head movement. You slip to the outside, you make him miss, you touch him with that left hand, you move out that side. Lomachenko needs to find that rhythm a little quicker.
There's a good
Here's
right
nice
hand.
Right hook.
Teofimo Lopez outboxing Vasiliy Lomachenko early.
No lower, no lower, you're good.
It could easily be a shutout right now through 5 rounds for Teofimo Lopez, although that last round probably a better round for Lomachenko. Just not the offense that we are looking to see, and typically a lot more jabs being thrown by Lomachenko through 5. Only 28 jabs thrown by Vasiliy Lomachenko through 5 rounds.
And defense is very important, but it's not a key to victory in this fight. Good jabs from Loma. See, we're at round number 6 now, so this is where Lomachenko has to step up, unless he's expecting to knock out Lopez late, based on how they're fighting at this level, because you don't know what it feels like in there.
Watch your head, stop!
Right hand to the body and a nice counter right hand from Lomachenko.
Okay,
connects.
Okay.
As a warning there from the head as they come together in the center of the ring, holding. And you see these flashes of these great shots landed, but just one from Lomachenko in those exchanges.
Yeah, just not enough. I mean, a lot of defense. He's doing really well with that. He's not getting hit much, but
big power shot at the end of that round from Lopez. The majority of those early rounds, just the more active fighter.
There's a chance that it is 6-0. Good body shot there from Lopez.
We're closer rounds, but this clear of a disparity this early. I mean, Lomachenko right now needs to make some serious adjustments and work himself back into this fight.
He's never been in there with someone this big and this strong and this dangerous.
And all that Teofimo's father has said is, my son's gonna make it look easy in there. We've heard that in the lead up. We've heard that in the build up to this fight. And I mean, I don't know if having, good right hand to start here from Lomachenko. I was gonna say having the long layoff, having no crowd.
Watch your feet.
I'm searching for some sort of answers as to why what we're seeing. And other than the size of Lopez and the early shot that he landed, I mean, really no adjustments have been made to this point from Vasiliy Lomachenko.
I mean, last round we did see him push the action a little bit more. Yeah,
that happens.
Not something that generally happens in a Loma fight because of his footwork, but we did see it just there.
A couple times in this fight, which Lopez has complained about to Mora.
Vasily's been brandishing a nice jab the last 2 rounds, but there comes the power and the counters of Lopez. I like that uppercut that he's shooting from that back stance. You know, he's staying heavy on that back foot in that counter position with that right hand down and firing that right uppercut right up the middle, which is a great weapon against the southpaw.
Beautiful hand speed there from Lopez. And back with the great counter combination comes Lomachenko.
And a good body shot, too.
There we go. There's some work from Lomachenko on the inside as he continues to work. Mora lets him work in the clinch.
Loma with the straight left hands, the jabs, getting rough on the inside.
Some good work there.
Loma getting rough on the inside.
Nice counter shot there as action is finally heating up here in round 8. Lopez got him against the ropes. Left hand counter from Lomachenko.
Lomachenko putting himself into the power punching position, and honestly, he needs to because of the hole that he's put himself into in the scorecards. He needs to be out there landing the big shots, getting rough, getting mean in there.
Watch your feet.
There's that lead jab that lands against Lopez.
I'm assuming the game plan has had to be to take it late and to finish Lopez, because otherwise I don't see what the point of giving away so many rounds early on was. Counter from Lopez.
He surely did wind up on that right hand.
I believe that the range, the length, and the counterpunching ability of Lopez has really put Lomachenko on notice.
And here we are now at the end of round 8. Lopez team saying it wouldn't go past 6. Lopez in control early, arguably winning the first 4 or 5 rounds on the cards, and then things starting to tighten up a little more the last few. Best round of the fight for Lomachenko, round 8.
You can see that last round landing at a 50% clip. Again, not throwing a lot, but when he does, he has been accurate. Last round by far his most active and best round. That catch and shoot style of Lopez has been very effective at stemming the offense of Lomachenko this far.
Stop! Watch your legs, watch your legs. Let's go, let's keep this clean.
This is the only time outside of the Masayoshi Nakatani fight back in July that Lopez has seen round 9. That fight went the distance, all 12, but other than that, no other fight has gone past 7 rounds in his professional career. Obviously not the case with Vasiliy Lomachenko, having gone the distance multiple times, all 12 as a pro, as he, for the first time, pushes Lopez back.
Lift the bucket, lift the bucket, lift it.
Here's that straight left hand, look for the right hook over the top. Lomachenko does not fight well going backwards. Ooh, good counter there by Lomachenko. I like that straight left hand to the body from Loma. He needs to do more of that.
And a little bit different energy here from Lomachenko. You can sense that he knows that he's got to pick it up here.
Let him go. Stop! Let him go. Let him go.
Willing to stand in and exchange.
And to get rough on the inside. And that's one thing about size in a fight. As the fight wears on, a lot of times the guy who cuts more weight has the advantage early, but not so much late. If they struggle to make the weight, that sometimes can just tell at the second half of the fight.
And from all, and we're hearing that through the last 2 rounds, Loma's punch output totaled what he has thrown through the first 6 total rounds of the fight.
I believe it. It's to certainly look that way. As I said in those first 6 rounds, you can't win rounds if you don't throw punches. Good body shot again there.
Yeah, something we haven't seen too much from Loma here is any body work.
Right.
How'd you score that last round, Chris?
I gave that to Lomachenko. I thought that he was able to back up Lopez. I did like that short left hand to the body. It landed very, very clean.
Is this the type of chess match to this point that you expected, Chris?
No, I thought that there was going to be more offense early. I thought that Loma was going to be able to utilize that footwork a little more than what we're used to. I thought it was going to look like this, honestly, from the beginning.
Yeah, and I kind of hoped it would too, especially on a fight this big and this magnitude. Obviously, fight fans are going to tune in, but there's a lot of casual fans, people that are drawn into this because of the promotion and what they've heard about it, and I'm sure they're clamoring for a little more action at this point, a little more of what we've seen the past couple rounds.
We're trading now.
And what we'll see possibly here through the last now 2.5 if we get to that point.
Loma turning into a bit of a bully.
In front.
It's so hard sometimes for these big fights to really live up to the hype, you know, especially after what we just saw 2 weeks ago with Zepeda and Baranchek and that type of fight. Things now starting to heat up from round 8, 9, and now 10.
I'm seeing some big breaths from Lopez.
We just saw a nice right hand. Another good combination from Lomachenko. Lomachenko getting a little more of his rhythm now.
Yeah, he's changed the range quite a bit. He feels much more comfortable in the pocket, taking the punches better as well.
Great observation as he's now pushing forward. As I say that, Teofimo tries to push him back. Good jab there, landed by Loma.
That's that body shot again.
Oh, that left hand to the body. And a good answer by Lopez. Ooh, good combination there by Lomachenko. Having much more success now.
Yeah, you see him putting on pressure.
For all the belts at 135 pounds, lightweight supremacy on the line here. Lomachenko has another good 2 rounds. I mean, you could be looking at a draw.
He's gonna need it.
I mean, it's gonna be close here. And of course, starting this round off strong is Lomachenko knowing how close
watch
this
your head,
fight
both of
is.
you, watch your head.
You start to see the number of punches thrown evening out a little bit, although the percentage that Lomachenko lands does not compare, but still 34 punches in that 10th round by
Loma
Teofimo.
still needs to be careful, though. He has a very dangerous man in front of him. He's getting in there, being a little bit reckless, honestly, and you know, he's got a young guy in there with big power. I think can hurt him, so he needs to still be cautious, even if he's going to be more offensive.
Oh, some good work here on the inside from Lopez.
Oh,
nice
right
uppercut. And a nice counter left hand to the body from Lomachenko.
Stop. Not back here, not back here.
What a change in body language. Lomachenko now backing Lopez up, putting him on the ropes, letting his hands go.
The mouth open of Teofimo Lopez, a little more heavy breathing, and a nice body shot from Lomachenko.
Good elbow there from Lopez. These guys are getting rough on the inside. Stakes are getting high.
And how about Teofimo a little more flat-footed here, not really bouncing
Right on the line,
around
no
way
lower
he
than
was
that, no lower.
early in the fight.
And also not controlling the distance like he was earlier with his power punches and his counter punching. You know, now much more Loma is able to walk in and do what he wants.
Right hand lead combination there from Lomachenko. Again with the jab.
Oh, good body shot.
Stop!
Very good body shot. I think Loma
That's
still
fair,
needs to
that's
put the
fair.
pressure on. He needs to do something big here, either a knockdown or force a stoppage. It's still too close.
Even this round, they've both gone back and forth. Nice work there from Teofimo to the body, backing Loma up there. But Loma probably winning the first 2 minutes or so of that round. And all right, the 12th and final round in what has turned out to be a much closer fight towards the end. But look, scorecards could be all over the place at this point, considering the latter half of this fight, Chris.
Right, yeah. I mean, I have it still close. I still have Lopez ahead.
Stop! Let go. Watch your head. Watch your head.
To win this round to get a draw on my scorecard, my very, very unofficial scorecard.
It's very hard to call a fight and score it at the same time. I was hearing Andre Ward on the call. He states he had it almost even going into the 11th round. And 274 jabs thrown by Teofimo through 11 is the most he's ever thrown in a fight.
Good shot there from Lopez.
Lead left uppercut from Teofimo. And a right hand to the body from Teofimo. Can the young champion put an exclamation point on his performance tonight? Or will the savvy veteran, future Hall of Famer, and Vasiliy Lomachenko do enough to even this out? Or even put down Lopez? Good body shot there from Lopez. And we are 90 seconds away. Here's the action. Both of them know what's on the line now.
Lopez doing a good job of saving just enough in the last round to still put up a fight, where in the last couple of rounds he really was just countering and fighting off the ropes.
Good punches still landing here though by Lomachenko. Lopez, you can tell he's breathing heavily.
Yeah. Being this late in the fight, also taking a lot of the body shots from Loma the last couple of rounds. Definitely taken a little bit out of Lopez, but honestly, I think he still had a very good round number 12. Digging deep is the young champion, Teofimo Lopez.
Ooh, good counter shot with the left hand from Lopez, gives him some confidence.
Yeah, the power differential is just so different.
Back to the body goes Lopez, swinging for the fences goes Lopez. 30 seconds to go now. You hear Teofimo's father, don't stop, don't stop. Teofimo will not be happy about that cut, but knowing that he is just seconds away from arguably becoming a unified world champ, these two are going at it as they battle to the bell. For the king of the lightweight division, it is over. This fight goes the distance.
For your winner by unanimous decision. And now, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, the takeover, Teofimo Lopez!
How about over here? Right here. All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Let's have a good, clean fight. This is for the heavyweight championship of the world. God bless both of you. Shake hands. Let's come out fight.
We're ready to go. WBO heavyweight championship fight. Tommy Morrison and Michael Bentt. Bentt lost his first pro fight. The only loss for Tommy Morrison came on October 18th, 1991. He was knocked out by Ray Mercer, but he has won 10 straight since then, and he says he's a much better and much more accomplished fighter. Here we go, round one of this championship fight. Morrison in the black trunks with the stars and stripes. Bentt in the white trunks. Tommy Morrison, if he wins this fight, will go on to a big payday with Lennox Lewis, and that one hurt. Michael Bentt in trouble already, but trying to fight out of there. And a left connected, and Bentt in trouble again. And Tommy Morrison trying to end it early. And a good right by Bentt, and Tommy Morrison is down at 2:05 of the first round. So Morrison connected and hurt Bentt. Bentt came back with a right hand and floors Morrison. It is again. A solid right started it all. And Morrison was in trouble from that point forward. Now Morrison has been down before in fights that he has won. And now Tommy Morrison gets hit with a left and he knocks Morrison down again. Tommy Morrison in deep trouble here in the first round. And a lot of time remaining in round number one. You can see the bewilderment in the eyes. And Bentt came with nothing but huge shots, and Tommy Morrison desperately hurt. Of Tommy Morrison is Michael Bentt from New York City looking to finish him off. And Bentt just throwing nothing but haymakers right now. And Morrison in deep trouble. And Morrison is down. And the fight is over. Michael Bentt has upset Tommy Morrison and has won the WBO Heavyweight Championship of the world. A huge upset in the first round as Tommy Morrison is knocked out by Michael Bentt to a championship fight defeat. Uppercuts, hooks, crosses, everything.
The winner by TKO and new WBO Heavyweight Champion of the World, Michael Bentt.
This is for the world WBO Heavyweight Championship. He's your fight hard, fight clean, touch him up.
Tim Bradley, we have seen Robeisy Ramirez at various venues. Typically in years on Heisman night, we would be in front of 20,000 at Madison Square Garden. But this intimate venue here in South Florida is as loud as any
Yes,
we've heard right now because of who's in the ring. Fighting in your home, in your backyard, matters. Here we go, world title fight. Featherweight championship on the line. Various sizes and styles, it's what they do. He said, listen, that long amateur pedigree.
He brings his feet together. He gathers his feet, brings the lead foot back with his back foot. But right now, he's holding his position very well.
Espinoza trying to work behind that jab.
There's the
and
counter.
Timing that left hand, the counter from Ramirez.
Off the drop step.
Drop step was detailed in your lab film work in our preview to this championship fight.
Ooh,
on the inside,
good uppercut.
three-punch combination with a right uppercut from Espinoza. You see how pronounced that height difference is from this angle that we're viewing the fight at.
But Tess, how long can he maintain that distance? That's important.
No, got to utilize the jab, right?
There's that left hook right there. That's what I'm talking about. He has a lead left hook. Brutal. Keeping his hands in his pocket, so to speak, like the great Teddy Atlas used to say.
There he comes with a straight.
See the uppercut?
Straight right hand and then that left uppercut again.
What I love is the demeanor, again, of Espinoza, the confidence that he's fighting with right now. Towards the end of that round, Tess, I'm going to tell you this. Robeisy, he threw two straight left hands down to the body. Ramirez at bay.
Ramirez tried to time that right hand. Espinoza immediately fired back.
Using his legs right there to keep and maintain his distance, Tess. Doing a good job.
Espinoza giving an angle, turning out to the left, trying to fire off that right hand. Now consistently going to his left, staying away from that power hand of Ramirez. Right uppercut from Ramirez.
10 seconds for the bell, 10 seconds.
Coming to the end of round 2, featherweight world championship fight. Oh, that was after the bell.
By the challenger.
Espinoza with the left hand to the body.
Look at that. Espinoza's here to win. He's fighting with conviction.
It'll bring out the best in you. And that's what so far is happening. A long-range right hand from Espinoza as he continues to be willing to trade. Punches in the first round, through 85 in the second round. And a wrap around with that left hand to the body again. Oh, there's a short uppercut from Ramirez.
He's never gone the distance. Definitely in the back of his mind.
He's only fought past the 6th round once in his career.
10 seconds.
Pulled it back. But Reynoso, he's looking for that. Espinoza, excuse me, is looking for that uppercut. Robeisy this round is committing to the body. He's committing to the body of Espinoza.
Bernardo, what are they saying in the corner, Ramirez?
Robeisy Ramirez received strict instructions from Ismael Salas. He said, stop giving rounds away. You cannot afford to do that. And you've got to find a way inside and work that body.
Yep.
Right now on the inside, it's Espinoza feeling very comfortable as well.
Espinoza can fight the inside, Tess. And I love the way he's circling around and going to that weak side. Good exchange right there.
Excellent exchange as Ramirez came back with the left hand.
Right now, it's a textbook fight right now. Head clash from both fighters. Ooh.
Very game and determined Espinoza here as we come to the end of round number 4. King Rafael Espinoza. Mark Kriegel brings up the name of Satoshi Shimizu because that was the fighter who was also had a distinct height advantage. 5'11" when Ramirez TKO'd him in 5.
When I won my world championship, they didn't know who I was either. But I was hungry, I was determined. This is a 10-year pro. He's a 10-year pro. He knows how to fight, Tess.
Good exchange in the middle of the ring.
Ramirez still trying to set him up for that leaping, that overhand left. Still trying to set him up for that shot. Ramirez is going to have to fight harder than he's ever had to fight in his entire career. Amateur and everything. Big shots right there landed.
Coming in with the left hand. Espinoza, though, keeps stepping to him, throwing the uppercut. So determined is this upset-seeking title challenger. Short
big
right
shot.
hand on the inside from the champion, and Espinoza stands right in front of him.
10 seconds.
Southpaw stands now, huh?
He has switched a couple times tonight.
Oh, there it is.
My!
There it is.
My! Robeisy Ramirez lunging with it and brutalizing Espinoza. My, oh my!
getting caught, playing with your feet. That's what happens. Bagging up right here. He's changing stances. Ramirez sees it. That's experience right there. Right hook, right on the money. Here it is again from a different angle. He's stepping back. Okay, you want to switch? Switch right in front of me? Go ahead. Take that right hook while you're at it, son.
Look at that. Is that eye candy with an earthquake to the chin or what? Here it is in real time. Bang!
Now he's moving to his left, and he's looping his right hook over the jab. There it is again, high on the temple.
Robeisy Ramirez hunting that prey. Coming in with a series of left hands, partially blocked. That one hit a little harder. And now head hunting against the 6'1". Oh, and that's a slip. Espinoza thought he had a knockdown. It is a slip. Comes with the uppercut. Espinoza's giving everything he can, and then he got floored in the final moments of round 5.
You got one fighting for this belt, and you got one defending it. Espinoza.
Look at Espinoza, how game he is.
Look, he's fighting right now for his life. Ramirez looking for another opportunity.
Uppercut on the inside.
There it is. Again, leg.
Did you see his leg buckle there? That left hand exchange. Can he find him in the final minute? Short right hook on the inside. Comes back with the left. Remember, it was a right hook up top that scored the knockdown earlier. Espinoza willing to trade. Ramirez welcomes it. Back to the center of the ring. Espinoza pushing back Ramirez. Ramirez digging in.
Low blow.
That was a low blow with the right hand. They're just going to give him a warning right now. Back to business they go. Espinoza with a 2-punch combination. Right uppercut. Ramirez covering up for the moment. Will he unload here with a right hook again?
There it is.
There it is again. And a swinging left that sweeps in. And an uppercut comes back from Espinoza. Right hook, and came back with more power exchanges in round 6. Bernardo.
Ismael Salas just told me what changed the fight was the right hand of Robeisy.
There's
Good
a left
shot.
hand. Oh, and he stumbles. He's got him in trouble here. Closing moments of round 7. Left hand scores again. Espinoza's coming forward and throwing punches, even as he's damaged.
This is the last round right here. Look what happens here. Robeisy exits out. Beautiful shot right there. Just stepping left.
And is still coming forward. Another headshot lands. And Espinoza takes and wants to give. He's only fought past the 6th round once. And it's this kind of an effort. And now Ramirez is finding his groove.
Target
Here
practice.
he comes. Look at the champ firing off against the big lanky target. And Espinoza still is punching. Brings it back to the center of the ring against him.
These situations right here, Tess, I've been in these type of situations right here.
Ramirez coming in closer. There's the right hook. Espinoza continuing to try to touch him. Pace is slow just a little bit here in round 8. WBO Featherweight World Championship fight here. The beginning of round number 9. Mark Kriegel, how do you have it through 8?
That he's just trying to land one shot at a time, and I'm talking about Robeisy.
He can't get away from that shot. He cannot get away from that lead right hook of Robeisy. Good combination coming back.
Good combination from Espinoza. Yes. He tried to slip in the right uppercut as well after that. That back power hand coming straight on the lead.
Good hook.
That was on the
Body
elbow.
shot.
Went to the body, was partially blocked, caught a bit of the elbow. That one was sweeping. And then filling that gap was Ramirez with a two-punch combination. Defend his world title.
He's going to have to, because Espinoza starting to seem that he got a full steam, and he's coming forward. And Morrison, he's getting confident. As you see there, throwing combinations right there, landing. Oh, big shots.
He's taking headshots and yet still firing at Ramirez.
Espinoza right now has to continue to fight. He has to fight and weather the storm. He has to believe. He needs to take those shots coming from Ramirez, and he needs to keep piling on. Keep marching forward.
An uppercut that comes forward.
He's making his fight harder than it needs to be. He needs to exit that weak side. He needs to look for that right hook, but he needs to start down low. Bring the attention down low first, because he's sitting in front like that, he's gonna get teed up on, and he's not winning these rounds.
3 straight right uppercuts from Espinoza.
Body language, body language, body language, people.
Easy to read if you're a judge, right?
Absolutely.
One guy's coming forward, being the aggressor, making the fight.
This fight is close. You don't have time to be resting.
Look at this work rate
gotta fight.
from Espinoza. How bad do you want it? He's showing you. With his volume punching, with his effort, with his grit. He also showed the power earlier, scoring the knockdown in round 5.
Oh,
tries to come with that back power hand, and Espinoza stands right there and returns.
Again,
punch combination from Espinoza.
Again, Tess, that's why it's important. I told you why he had him hurt. He had to go down to the body to continue to weaken him. And Robeisy didn't do that.
Robeisy had him hurt in round 5, had him hurt in round 7. But Espinoza has gathered himself and keeps putting forth a tremendous effort.
Oh, big shot.
Caught him coming in. Which way will it go? And Espinoza comes right out and keeps firing.
That's a smart thing to do. Espinoza closing the distance, not allowing Ramirez to be able to extend either with that right hook or that looping left.
3-punch combination from Espinoza. Ramirez comes back with the left hand. Straight right hand from Espinoza. Headshot from Ramirez. And Espinoza now turning it on more and more. As you see that abrasion, the cut under the right eye, a little bit of swelling, the warning from Christopher Young. Works his way back to the inside.
Tess, this is why I love boxing, Tess.
Just spectacular when there's drama like this.
This is why I love boxing. You're seeing guts, you're seeing blood, determination.
And you just never know on any given night from any opponent. Anything can happen. Look at this in the final minute.
Oh my goodness.
Espinoza just saying, I'm going for it. I'm taking it to the champ in front of his fans.
Ramirez has to do something. He has to do something.
Espinoza sending him back against the ropes. Ramirez was trying to grapple. Espinoza scores the knockdown. This could be a massive upset.
7, 8, 9,
this is a knockdown in the last round, Timmy.
Just too many punches. The round before that, over 100 punches. Espinoza was able to throw too much, too physically strong, too determined. It was too much firepower for Ramirez. High guard usage that he likes to use. Not enough offense coming back from Ramirez right here. And that just made Espinoza even more confident.
The two-time Olympic gold medalist against the little-known, rugged Mexican, hopeful. He is in trouble right to the final bell.
For your winner by majority decision. And the new WBO featherweight champion of the world, Rafael El Divino Espinosa.
A dream comes true.
Within the 2 rounds.
Well, again, watching him train Tommy in the gym, he had Tommy with a lot of lateral movement and a lot of good stiff left jabs.
All right, here we go. Round 1 scheduled for 12. The hitman with that rare commodity, one-punch knockout power.
Well, he can sure throw that right hand right down the pipe if the opportunity presents itself. No question about that.
25 of his 38 KOs within the first 3 rounds in his illustrious career.
And Barkley is not a very hard guy to hit, but he does take a good punch, and he's a real tough guy.
An extremely physical, sprawling type fighter, almost a throwback to the crowd-pleasing middleweights of the past. Punches and accepts punches at a furious pace. A big left by Hearns. Trying to finish him off early.
You know, with Tommy Hearns, if I worked with Iran Barkley, I would tell my fighter, if you slip a punch, punch. If you block a punch, punch. Or if he hits you with a punch, try to punch, because Tommy has one bad fault. He throws beautiful punches, fast hands, power, but a lot of times after he throws a combination or hits you with a punch, he drops his hands and poses, and you can nail him.
And the question is, can Barkley slip the famous right hand of Thomas Hearns and then nail him with his left? The right was blocked. The right by Hearns is blocked.
And you saw Barkley punch back.
I have to tell you, I don't think Tommy Hearns looks as sharp early as we've seen him in recent fights. He's throwing his punches with not the same leverage. He may knock Barkley out, but right now, he's not throwing his punches with the leverage he has in other fights recently.
Well, that's right, because he nailed Barkley, and he didn't knock Barkley off balance, and Barkley was able to wing right back.
Barkley, a real banger, doesn't want a boxer be cute.
All right, and I think Barkley is already cut over the left eye, and that's one of the handicaps that Barkley has, is the fact that Hearns can bust him up, and his eyes have a tendency to swell. So the longer this fight goes, the worse it can be for Iran Barkley, not the better.
That is very interesting, because a lot of people thought the other way around, but now with those cuts, things in Hearns' corner. The WBC Middleweight Championship. Thomas Hitman Hearns in the gold. Iran the Blade Barkley in the black with the red trim. Cut over the left eye of Barkley. There's that right by Thomas Hearns.
Good stiff right hand by Tommy Hearns, but it didn't move Barkley at all.
Hearns with the jab.
That's why I feel that the longer the fight goes, that Barkley's going to swell up and bust up. I think Iran has to let it all hang out and try to nail Tommy early. Because Hearns does have that educated left hand and plenty of snap.
And he is so quick. He has really built up his upper body. He's been working out with weights, Tommy Hearns. Came to the weigh-in a pound overweight, but quickly came back and was on target at 160. Wasn't even a pound, actually.
Depending on how he had to lose that weight, it could harm him. Good left hook by Iran Barkley.
Double left hook. And when he goes with the body in the head with that double left, he can be very dangerous. I personally think Barkley's defense a little better than I anticipated it being early in this fight.
Absolutely, but now, Al, he's bleeding from the mouth.
Coming up to a minute remaining, round 2. Barkley has to be a bit confident right now, but it could be false optimism.
And Eddie Aliano did a great job on that left eye of Barkley. That's why you need professional help in the corner with these guys.
People forget about Hearns' left hook to the body. It is superb. What it did to James Schuler in one round was amazing, and he's starting to work it against Iran.
And now that cut on Barkley's left eye looks very, very angry again.
Final seconds, round 2. They're yelling right hand from the corner of Hearns. A right cross to finish the round by Thomas Hearns. And round 3 scheduled for 12. And Barkley comes out, smoking. Hearns retaliates.
Well, Olajide hurt Barkley and put him down with a left hook. And I'm sure Tommy saw that in the films, but he has not been able to get his own in as much as he'd like.
And the eye is open again. Barkley's left eye is open. Plenty of time left in the round. A little low.
That one straight to the body by Hearns.
Great body shots by Tommy Hearns.
Well, that's the way he was working in the gym, Al. Good jab, set it up, hook to the body. And there it is again.
Emmanuel Stewart, within inches to our left, loved it.
Those body shots have hurt Iran Barkley very badly.
The crowd sensing something. Hearns continues to go to the body with a left uppercut.
By Barkley, and Hearns is down. A lunging right.
He's not going to get up, Al. He does, it's a miracle.
He's on his knees. He gets up. Just before being counted out, he gets up.
Look at that big right hand by Iran. Look at Iran looking at the floor. Now he's got the target. And there it is, just one swinging right hand right on the button. And another one, that's what is known as the coup de grace.
From another angle, Gil.
There it is again. Look at Barkley. Look at the floor. He's up again now. And he just swings. And boy, did he nail him. And look at that second right hand. How Tommy ever got up the first time was a miracle. Seemed to me that was a long count. I don't know.
Can he survive the third round?
Wow.
Richard Steele steps in. Hearns goes through the ropes.
What a turnaround.
It's over. Iran Barkley has upset Thomas Hearns here in the third round.
And this is the end of the fight now. Amazing, like you said, Hearns able to get up from that, but now he goes through the ropes.
Well, Richard Steele conceded he's completely helpless and stopped the fight exactly the right time.
The winner by knockout victory and new middleweight champion of the world, Iran, the Blade Barkley. We're scheduled for 12 rounds, and here we go. The talking is over. It's time to get busy. One for the ages. De La Hoya in black trunks.
First surprise, De La Hoya not bouncing, not using lateral movement, not running or dancing as so many thought that he would. He's right in front of Hopkins.
I think Oscar knows that he's not gonna make it work running for 12 rounds like he tried to do against Sturm. He's gonna have to box Hopkins right there in front of him, just like he did Trinidad early in the fight. Once he starts taking off running, he's gonna be in trouble.
Crowd already chanting Oscar, Oscar, Oscar.
Well, critical for Oscar right here early in the fight is establish that jab. He's got to keep Hopkins off of him with that jab.
Step back clean, fellas. Don't watch your shoulder. He's giving up a reach advantage. Is Oscar De La Hoya. Many people thought as Rich Murata pointed out he was crazy to take this fight. That was a punch over the top, didn't do any damage. But it could if it landed in the right way.
Yeah, you can see right away that Hopkins has some nice power that Oscar may not be accustomed to.
Oscar's proven, though, throughout his career, he's got a good beard. has very rarely been the subject of a knockdown in the fight. I don't think he's been knocked down since that Ike Corte fight, has he?
Now, Rich, I didn't expect Oscar to be right in front of Hopkins.
No, I didn't expect him to be backing up Hopkins.
And that sends a message to Bernard Hopkins right away in the first round, I think.
Actually, to be honest with you, I thought that this is the only way Oscar has a chance.
That's a good jab from Oscar.
Oscar's got the hand speed to stand in front of Hopkins and fight him. He can't get too close. He starts getting too close, and Hopkins is going to start digging to his body, and he's going to start wearing Oscar down and leaning on him.
Floyd wanted him to work behind the jab, then maybe bring the right hand into play. Of course, everybody knows about Oscar's power in that left hand. Oscar's actually ambidextrous. He has equal power in both hands. He plays golf left-handed, boxes right-handed. A lot of respect these two have for one another. Everybody knows the power. You know, if you have to try to define Hopkins' skill, how can you do it, Rich? I mean, he can do everything and has in his career when needed.
He's very smart. I mean, the guy is a true professional prize fighter, so he knows all of the nuances of boxing. He just doesn't just jump up there and do the obvious. But I am a little surprised, I have to tell you, that he's not been a little more aggressive here so far through the first 2 rounds, because he told me a couple of weeks ago he's going to jump right on Oscar, and I don't see that happening here so far. I think he needs to ratchet up the pressure here a little bit.
Hopkins' corner encouraging him to establish that jab, as Oscar's corner was too. It's important for both of them to establish that jab. But what I don't see from Hopkins is a good strong jab. He's just poking at Oscar's head. He's not really
He tried to launch there.
Jab.
He tried to lunge and throw there.
He's just kind of pitter-patting with that jab. It's not really an effective jab.
We should reiterate, for those that don't know, Oscar De La Hoya, when they were removing tape from his hand this week, they cut his hand. He has 11 stitches wrapped up inside his glove in the palm of his hand. The doctor said it shouldn't be a factor. We shall see. Is it a mental factor? Probably not. It's time to fight, and Oscar went on with his plans, although they did a good job keeping it secret. We're at 30 seconds left, round 2.
That's a big right hand from Hopkins right there. That's kind of stunned Oscar momentarily.
Yeah, first hard punch of the fight, really.
Oscar's
kind of shook Oscar in his shoes.
That's Hopkins who's moving. Pretty good quick right hand from Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah, he's fighting a better second round now.
Oscar just landed a right hand. Final seconds of the round, Oscar throwing punches, showing his speed. Not that effective.
I think Oscar's going to have to find a way to land hard combinations. He's going to have to use that jab to set it up. He'll land 3-4 punches. So those are amateur-style combinations there that really don't have any effect. He's not really scoring with them. He's certainly not going to do any damage on Hopkins with him.
He might leave himself wide open.
Work out, they clinch. Work out. Stop, step back clean, fellas, step back.
Oscar would be much better suited to slow his hands down a little bit.
Big right hand from Hopkins.
That was quick, baby.
That was quick.
That was a really heavy right hand.
Big right hand from Hopkins.
That had to bother Oscar. Too many of those shots, and he's going to have a lot of trouble late in this fight.
Wow, that was quick and it was hard. Best punch of the fight. Good counter punch from Hopkins.
He absorbed it well, though, De La Hoya. His legs look completely underneath.
You know what's amazing? A guy can come from 130 pounds all the way up to his career to 160 and take shots like that.
This is the kind of stuff they might have been anticipating from Hopkins at times. He will get down and brawl a little bit and push and shove.
You never know, though, with Bernard. I remember there were never more accusations that he was going to fight a dirty fight. It was when he fought Tito Trinidad, and he fought the cleanest fight imaginable against Trinidad and won easily.
Kenny Bayless imposing his way in there briefly. Best shot of the fight so far has been landed by Hopkins, and De La Hoya was able to withstand it. Oscar looked perfectly fine, just didn't want to make that mistake again. That came so fast, though, it's hard to counter that. Straight right from Hopkins.
Looking for that lead right again.
Oscar's got to lead with that jab. He's got to get Hopkins off balance. If he can just tap him on the forehead with that left hand, he can bring a right hand behind it.
Good movement from Oscar there.
Floyd Mayweather had asked him a couple rounds ago to double up on that jab and then bring that right hand behind it, and he has not done it since Floyd has told him to.
Well, he's probably afraid of that right hand now if he throws it.
Well, you can't blame him for that. That's a heavy, heavy right hand.
Final 10 seconds, round 3. Oscar De La Hoya trying to do what many people thought was the impossible, was to beat the man who's held the middleweight title longer, 18 defenses than anyone in history. Good combination from De La Hoya.
That's what he needs. Speed, baby. Speed of hand, combinations, and then get out of there. That's what Oscar can do to win this fight.
That's what he should do to win this fight. Floyd Mayweather, his senior, was his trainer, Floyd Mayweather Sr. was telling him, I've never seen you look this bad. He wants him to work that jab and look for the right hand.
I've never understood telling a fighter why he looks so bad or how he looks so bad. You can tell him, give him instructions that'll do him some good. Don't tell him how bad he looks. Tell him what he needs to do in the fight to win.
All right, let's take a look at that round. Hopkins coming forward. De La Hoya partially blocked that shot.
Hopkins unloading a little bit more this round. Both fighters extremely quick. Good jab from Hopkins. Digging to the body is the champion.
De La Hoya is very, very fearful of that right hand. He's fighting very tentatively, knowing that that right hand is coming over the top.
De La Hoya was going to the body there. If he catches Hopkins off balance, that's what he's hoping to do. That's hard to do.
Bernard Hopkins is trying to make Oscar De La Hoya make a mistake. That's why he was backing off, hand down. He doesn't mind exchanging with Oscar.
What's the rule? The bigger guy usually wins. Good jab from Oscar.
Oscar's going to have to keep finding his spots, picking and poking, and just try to win the rounds.
Yeah, the flurries are a good idea.
Hey, I think Hopkins is improvising. He's just doing it as he goes along, so you see what'll work. Especially with holding that left hand down that low.
Hopkins has no fear of Oscar's power right now. He's perfectly okay with stepping in there and throwing that right hand. If he gets hit, he gets hit.
I'd fear the judges. Get to work.
Absolutely, because some of these rounds are very close.
You know, in Vegas, the advantage might go Oscar's way, but it certainly didn't go his way against Trinidad, and it didn't go his way that second fight against Sugar Shea Mosley. Two controversial decisions, so it doesn't really mean anything about being in Vegas for Oscar, judging by those 2 fights he lost. That's what he needs to do.
Work out, keep him up. Work out.
Good body shot.
I'm really surprised by what Bernard Hopkins is doing here. I have to admit, he's standing back looking to pot shot Oscar when I thought he would be applying relentless pressure.
Well, what he's doing, he's allowing Oscar to steal some rounds by setting back and pretty much throwing the round up in jeopardy at the end.
Look at him
last 30
feigning.
seconds, the rounds are being won in the last 30 seconds.
Hopkins feigning, and are you surprised, guys, that Oscar's standing there not moving more?
Yeah, Oscar's doing the best he can to keep from getting hit with those big right hands. I'll tell you, he's so aware of Hopkins' power. He's having to fight very focused with a tremendous amount of concentration to keep from getting hurt here.
To reiterate, Hopkins is a true middleweight, always has been. This is only Oscar's second fight moving up. He's only at 155.
If either one of these 2 fighters fade conditioning-wise, the other one's going to all of a sudden have a huge advantage. Because right now, they're fighting fairly even.
If Oscar trained the way he said he did, I don't anticipate that being a problem, but he has had problems in the past when he told us how hard he trained and faded in the 11th and 12th rounds. There's that big right hand Hopkins keeps trying to land. Oscar, as Lester pointed out, his concentration has to be razor sharp. One mistake and he's going to eat it. Inside 20 seconds, round 5. Oscar countering off the combination from Hopkins. Final 10 seconds, round 5. Oscar stumbles. Bernard Hopkins trying to use his power advantage and his reach advantage. De La Hoya throwing a jab inside.
I'll tell you,
stepping back.
It shows how much I don't know about the sport when neither of these guys is fighting the fight that I expected to see here tonight. Hopkins, I expected to see relentless pressure. De La Hoya, I expected to be a dancing master in there in the first few rounds, but apparently not wanting to expend that energy.
Well, I think he learned his lesson in the Sturm fight when he took off running, and that's been making him break down throughout his career, is taking off running late in the fight. So I think he's conserving energy here tonight, and the plan was to box Hopkins up close. They feel like he has a superior hand speed, and that may be his only chance, is to conserve some energy. He's going to have to fight for 12 rounds because of knocking Hopkins out is going to be almost impossible.
Another two body shots from Oscar, one almost low, right on the belt line.
I would like to see Oscar start making Hopkins move to his right. Hopkins has a little more trouble in setting his feet when he has to move to his right. He's very comfortable right down the middle, and Oscar's standing there for him, letting him come right to him. If Oscar could force him to his right, it'd take Hopkins out of his rhythm. Not only that, he can move away from that big right hand.
Oscar doing a good job defending here. Picking off punches. So far.
So you see Oscar started moving to his left and allowed Hopkins to move to his left. And then here comes Hopkins with 3 punches. He's very comfortable throwing when he's moving to his left or straight down the middle.
Put it on his shoulder, right into that shoulder. Right into that shoulder, I'm telling you. Double jab right into that shoulder. Right there, Rex, what are you in there?
Oscar went searching for a punch there, wasn't there? Hopkins jabbing and standing away. I don't see the pressure yet from Hopkins.
I'll tell you what's not happening here is what a lot of people predicted early on when this fight was made, that Bernard Hopkins was going to destroy Oscar De La Hoya, and it was going to happen quick. Oscar's making a very respectable fight out of this, and he's in this thing all the way.
When you got to rely on your experience and your training to carry you. Final seconds. Hopkins misses with 3 punches.
I think Oscar's had a very good round boxing here. He really fought very well.
I thought it was his best round, Rich. I thought that was his best round. Now the Hopkins corner. Good punch from Oscar. Hopkins corner wanted to say, make Oscar fight, make him fight. So maybe the pressure's coming that you were talking about, guys.
I could sense that Hopkins was turning it up a notch towards the end of that last round.
De La Hoya got hit, and he decided, hey, I'm going to hit right back. Good swift exchange there.
Oscar's head was there, but Hopkins missed it. Hopkins listening to his corner, applying the pressure in round 7.
See, Oscar got him with the jab, then he brought the right hand behind it. That's what he's got to do, but he's got to lead with that jab. He's got to hit Hopkins with that jab before Hopkins hits him with that right.
It's a nice right by Hopkins, and Hopkins is turning up the heat.
Oh, he's just pressing him now. He's just laying his body on him. But Hopkins pressing him and laying on him a little bit. Oscar's just looking smaller and smaller.
Here's Bernard, 2 jabs followed up with a right hand. Now Hopkins is beginning to take the lead. This is the kind of pressure I expected from Bernard earlier in the fight, but he's really showing it here for the first time in round 7.
Well, what Hopkins has got to be careful of is he's all of a sudden started to ignore any power from Oscar at all. So he's just charging in there. Oscar still has enough power. If he hits him with a good right hand or a hook, he's liable to hurt him.
Look where Hopkins is holding his left hand. Good right hand from Hopkins, who's now starting to turn it up, and Oscar counters.
But you know, I don't know if either fighter has thrown a body shot the whole fight. They're just not going to the body at all.
Point.
That's where I thought Oscar should
Neither
go.
Hopkins or Oscar, either one is throwing body shots.
Hopkins spins out of trouble.
With that height, you'd think that Oscar would try to get to that body, but I think he's fearful of dropping those hands.
Hopkins has been a master at being able to attack all parts of the body, really just breaking a guy down bit by bit.
But he's not breaking Oscar down to the body here.
Not tonight.
He just headhunting.
Final seconds, round 7, good round for Hopkins. Round 8. We shall see. This thing has gone fast, hasn't it, guys?
Yeah. You look up and here it is, round 8. Amazing.
You know, one of the problems I have with Oscar's corner, and I've always had this problem with Floyd Mayweather, is that he offers a lot of advice, except for he doesn't offer strategy to win the fight. He is not coming forward with Oscar he doesn't have a plan for Oscar to execute here. He's telling him this is the most important fight of your career.
Good punch.
He's got to give him a plan.
Wow. There's some heavy shots exchanged inside there. Hopkins completely dropping his left hand now. As Lester pointed out, Hopkins loves to go to his left.
You know, he's giving Hopkins too much room there. He's going to have to close the gap and fight him up a little closer because Hopkins getting room to extend those punches. He's got a lot of power when you give him room. Oscar standing right down the middle.
De La Hoya is going to have to answer back here now because this is where Hopkins begins breaking a guy down, puffing up their faces. What he did to poor William Joppy last year. You've got to get something back.
Halfway through round 8 now. Oscar fighting on the inside, getting inside that long reach of Hopkins.
In the corner between last round, Hopkins had a little smile. I sensed that he had a very comforting feeling about this fight and the rest of the way. I mean, he's totally confident when he was in the corner.
Bernard working that jab much more in this round, listening to Bowie Fischer's instructions. Doing a good job of going out there. The executioner is executing.
Left hand from Oscar landed off the right from Hopkins.
Oscar just searching for a way, searching for anything he can do to get an advantage, but he's just outsized and outmanned here.
Well, he's certainly not out of this fight. I mean, he needs to make something dramatic happen. He's allowing Hopkins to just take over.
That's where his corner needs to tell him what he needs to do to counter, give him a strategy. Had more of that what he had in the last 5 seconds, it'd be a better round, but
Hopkins has moved ahead on my scorecard.
Round 9. Hopkins taking charge the last 2 rounds. And he continues to put the pressure on we expected from the get-go. Now it's Oscar who's going backwards.
Look for something from Hopkins this round. He was saying, this is my round, this is my round.
If he's that confident, he should just let it go.
And they're telling Oscar to, he's got a jab, he's got a jab, he's got a jab. Well, you can't beat Bernard Hopkins just jabbing. You got to bring something behind it. You got to bring something with substance, and Oscar just has not been able to do that.
Hold it, no, stop punching. Stop punching. There we go. Come on, fellas. Time.
Kenny Bayless having a rough time.
Listen, stop with the foolishness, guys. Keep it clean.
I didn't think there was anything that dirty. Hopkins landed the right, he rushed in. Maybe got a shoulder in there, but it didn't look to me like there was anything that crazy going on.
It was certainly a break that Oscar was happy to take, I'm sure.
Hopkins saying round 9 is his round. I think his confidence has grown that he can handle this guy. And Oscar's felt probably some of the hardest punches of his career. Certainly from a world-class all-time middleweight.
Watch your head, watch your head.
That was a nice left hand underneath by Oscar.
This could be the end for Oscar De La Hoya. All right, let's take a look at the knockout. Inside he comes, left hook to the head. Down goes Oscar to one knee. Now he will crumble over.
And
he had been hit with a body punch.
Body punch on the inside.
Body punch first, then the shot to the head. And there is the exultation of victory for the executioner.
Yeah, delayed reaction by Oscar, but the pain was just too much. He couldn't stay up.
Now that's a hell of a shot to take somebody out with one of those.
And still, the universally recognized, undisputed middleweight champion of the world, the pride of Philadelphia, Bernard, the Executioner Hopkins.
All right, Michael, George, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times. Give me a good, clean fight. And bear one thing in mind. I'm the boss man in here. Take hands, good luck.
Combination by Moore to start the action. Moore coming forward and actually has Foreman going back. We expected to see George try to start faster than he did in his fight against Tommy Morrison and perhaps go a little bit more for broke in this bout. Foreman very calm, one of the most relaxed fighters you will ever see in boxing.
I gotta tell you though, Rich, it looks like he's put on 10, 15 pounds since the weigh-in. George does not look as... You know, remember, they weighed in 2 days early for this fight. They weighed in on Thursday afternoon. It's been more than 48 hours since the weigh-in.
Maybe George figured he was going to get in great shape right up until the weigh-in. Now we will see as Moore is trying to stay close. He's not using a lot of lateral movement here. He's staying within punching range of Foreman. And it would be interesting to see if Foreman tries to use the push-it-off technique that he's been successful with in the past.
Well, at the moment, Foreman is not fighting cross-armed like he normally does. He's fighting from, I wouldn't even call it a peekaboo stance. It's just a traditional boxing stance. He doesn't have his arms crossed. Moore is establishing the jab, and as you said, fighting on the inside, looking just to double up on that jab and then come in with that great left of his.
This perhaps the first surprise that Foreman has not come out real fast here in round number one. And Moore right in front of him, where hardly anybody expected him to be.
Well, surprisingly enough, too, Moore only has a 1-inch reach deficiency in this. George has had very little reach. He's got the big weight advantage, 2-inch height, but Michael's standing right in there, landing that jab at will. George looks very tentative and very slow.
Trying to keep Moore away there, just using his arms as a defensive tool. Now Foreman snaps the jab out. There's the first right hand by Foreman. It followed a left jab. Crowd roars. To little effect, though. Moore has been knocked down 4 times in his career, but has always gotten up and always won.
Those knockdowns coming from Everett Martin, Bert Cooper, and of course the last time against Evander Holyfield for the knockdown that judged tonight. Jerry Roth, who judged that fight, only got to see that round as a 10-10 round in spite of the fact that Moore was on the floor.
There's again the left-right combination by Foreman, but that right hand going in fairly slowly, and he still reaches Moore. George's punch is very slow so far. Bell ends round one.
Foreman through. The only punch that of really effectiveness that Foreman was able to land with in the first round.
Moore getting that jab to work some now here at the start of round number 2. And Foreman trying to answer with the same.
And showing some motion now.
Michael Moore going out trying to obey the commands of Teddy Atlas, whom he has a lot of belief in and a lot of respect for. He went through trainers before. He was trained by Emmanuel Stewart for a long time, left Stewart, now Foreman with a right hand, was trained briefly by the Duva-George Benton combination, and a left jab by Foreman now.
Went through some real changes during that period of time. George starting to find the range now.
Yep, that was a fine left jab by Foreman, and again brings a rise out of the crowd. Moore had a slight smile on his face. Foreman not expending a lot of energy.
And in the second coming of George, he hasn't been notoriously fast in the first rounds. If you remember the first round even of the Jerry Cooney fight.
Right, he was hurt in that fight. In fact, he wobbled near the end of that first round, but came back to finish off Cooney in the second round.
I think he wants to find out exactly what Michael has, and is Michael capable of hurting him? Remember, George has only been knocked out once in his entire career. A fellow by the name of Ali.
Foreman turned pro back in 1969. Michael Moore was 1.5 years old on the night that George Foreman turned professional. Now Moore coming on, getting his jab home and following it up with a left cross. Moore working the jab, fighting carefully, moving a little bit, sliding some. Here's that jab again from Moore.
See, George is eating a lot of jabs, though, Rich, and he's going to get puffed up. He's got that habit now where that face gets puffy like it did in the Alex Stewart fight.
Uppercut by Moore, in close.
The only thing I don't like about what Moore is doing
Good right hand by Foreman, knocks Moore back a step or two. Both fighters had their moments in that second round. Who'd you give that second round to?
I still thought Moore won the round, but I thought George was coming on quite well and landed some good shots. It was a close round to call, though.
Foreman walking forward. Teddy Atlas has talked a lot to Moore and a lot of psychology before this fight about what Foreman was going to try to do to him, how he was going to try to con him, how he's going to try to get him to submit and break his will. Two good jabs by Foreman, but the follow-up right was not there.
Landed a good right-hand lead on Moore then.
We have not seen the crossover stance from George Foreman.
Nor the traditional push-off. He didn't move in on that second jab either, which is why he missed with the right. If you're going to double, good right hand by Moore. If you're going to double up on the jab, you got to move in on the second one if you're going to land with the right.
Moore picking up some momentum now, avoiding the punches of Foreman and coming forward and landing. And there he landed a good right hand to the belly. Good round so far here in the third for Michael Moore.
I've got to think at this point that Foreman's got Moore outweighed by probably 28 pounds at the weigh-in. I would say it's closer to 40 pounds right now.
It is amazing, but it does look like George wasn't turning down any burgers in the last 2 days. There's a good cracking right hand from George Foreman, but Moore, sharp right hand.
And Teddy Atlas very nervous that Moore is fighting in this close, Rich.
Again, the combination from Foreman, but Moore always answers right back. There's a good right by Moore.
George is hurt and holds on for the first time in the fight. Throughout the round. Moore with his straight right. Big article in one of the New York papers that was prophesizing that George was going to try a rope-a-dope type of situation here with Moore, and nothing could be further from the truth. But he's not even fighting a typical George style at this point, and a good body shot by Moore.
Now the fight has been fought at ring center. Foreman now trying to keep Moore away with the jab. Just push from there, he follows up with the right hand. Moore answers back. Moore doing a great job of every time Foreman lands something significant, Moore comes back with 2 or 3 of his own.
And George starting to puff up already. Big welt under the left eye.
Good jabs. Now combination by Moore drives Foreman back into the ropes. Rally by Moore to close out the round.
To your right.
That was a pretty big third round, though, for Michael Moore. Not easy to jab a left-hander. He's got that glove right out in front of you. Well, there's the right hand from Foreman. Interestingly enough, in watching the tape of the first of the Holyfield-Moore fight, Foreman was a commentator and said that he thought that a crossover style and a squared-up style would be very successful against Moore, but he hasn't used the crossover.
And yet he's not using it. He's not throwing enough right-hand leads. And I don't think he's had enough experience. He's only fought one left-hander in his entire career, as we mentioned before, Bobby Crabtree back in '87. We know that the only left-hander in Foreman's camp was a fighter by the name of Matthew Brooks. who's really a blown-up light heavyweight.
Left hook to the body by
George
Foreman.
has nothing, Rich. No timing, very slow, very sluggish.
Now, did you think he'd be a little sharper than this? But he hasn't fought for 17 months, but he comes there with a combination.
I expected a little bit more possibly in the early rounds. I expected a little bit more aggression from George. I expected the cross-arm style and I expected him to be moving forward.
Trying to come up the middle with that right uppercut. That's the punch that Angelo Dundee said would be successful with Moore. He felt that coming up the middle with uppercuts, and Foreman does come up the middle well, would be successful in this fight.
Well, Michael's certainly in close enough for George to try to attempt to throw that. He doesn't want to throw it from the outside. We saw what happened to Buster Douglas when he did that against Evander Holyfield. He's in tight enough. Moore is giving him the target. Moore is there for him.
Moore fighting a controlled fight.
I expected Moore to be fighting much more on the outside, personally. I thought he'd be jabbing. He's much more aggressive in this fight than he was against Evander Holyfield.
Moore appears supremely confident.
And
I was willing to stand right there in front of George Foreman. Foreman, they're trying to push Moore off.
It's sort of like, okay, I don't know if that's, whoa!
Nice jab by Moore. Almost leaped in with it, but he really snapped it. Another good jab by Michael Moore. Really putting that jab to work. Foreman's going to have to answer with something because Moore is actually walking through the punches of George Foreman.
Or the lack of them.
Moore's punches are landing cleanly.
He's got to be...
Good body shot from Foreman.
But he's probably out punching George at this point 10-1, and he's landing an enormous amount of his shots.
George trying to outstrength Moore here now. Moore's reflexes, those of a 26-year-old man, remember. No matter what the weights, the records, and personalities, well, any numbers do not measure reflexes.
Probably the biggest unknown factor is what this 18-month layoff was going to do. He lost his last fight to Tommy Morrison, who has since been exposed to really be nothing. 18 months is the longest layoff he's had at any active part of his career, period. And at almost 46 years of age, unless he's saving something, Rich, there's nothing there.
The key words there, of course, was active part of his career, because he did have that 10-year layoff when he went into the ministry from 1977 through 87. Stayed out of boxing, ballooned up to 320, 350 pounds. There's a good left hand by Foreman. Now Foreman coming forward and moving Moore back a little.
Good right hand lead he landed on Moore's face there.
Foreman having some success here and getting the crowd interested again.
The only other long layoff he ever had besides the 10-year layoff in the present 18-month was after losing to Ali when he came back and fought Ron Lyle. That was about 16 and a half months.
Here in round 5 now, Foreman doing a little bit better work. Now Moore coming back at the end of the round, landing a stiff jab as the round comes to an end. A little bit better round for George Foreman.
Michael started throwing his own left-hand leads of his own. See, George doesn't move in, though, on the second. He doubled up on the jab, but he's not moving in on the second jab, so he can't land the right effectively.
He did land a right uppercut in close, but Moore taking all the punches that Foreman has thrown and landed tonight very well. Has not been rattled yet. There's a good right hand from George Foreman. But again, Moore answers right back. Moore hardly allows the Foreman fans here to get the cheers out of their collective mouth before he answers back.
Yeah, I mean, very partisan Foreman crowd, but a lot of respect at this point coming over to Mora. If Mora was dancing and running away from Foreman, which is what everybody would have expected, they'd probably be down on Mora. You have to have respect for him that he's standing in there and he's taking the fight to George.
Good jab again from Moore. And again, boy, that's nice work with that right hand from Moore. Foreman still dangerous.
Two
Lands a
right
right hand. George ran into an uppercut, though, on the way in and trying to follow up.
Mora took two really good right-hand leads from Foreman and came back and was able to fire on his own.
George trying to follow up. But Moore very dangerous in front of him. Moore felt those punches. Right hand from Foreman again, partially blocked by Moore.
You got a question at this point, is Foreman's punch totally gone, or does Michael Mora have a better chin than we all gave him credit for?
Now here comes Mora back, crowd roaring.
And I got to say, considering that Mora was dropped by Holyfield, who's considered a light puncher, and Bigfoot Martin, you got to think that George's punch has finally left him at almost 46 years of age, Rich.
Right hand by Moore over the outstretched arm of Foreman. Now Moore goes back to the jab, which was effective for him early in the round. Again, the right hand from Foreman. He's landed numerous times in this round with a right hand. Much more encouraging showing by Foreman in this round. Oh, but a hard, snapping left hand from Michael Moore.
Michael's going to continue on in close.
Now Moore again with that stiff jab and battle of the chance from
Moore's jabs. He's putting it out there to catch it and try to parry it with an open hand, and it's not doing anything for him.
There again, beaten to the punch by Michael Moore. Good right to the belly by George Foreman. Foreman's last win, you have to go all the way back to January 16th of '93, 22 months ago, when he stopped Pierre Kotzer in 8 rounds in a fight in Reno. There's a nice combination from Foreman.
Even leaning on him would be something at this point.
And consequently, referee Joe Cortez has had very little to do in this fight so far. Leaping in with the right hand, but Foreman got his head in front of it.
And he's able to leap in and leap out before George can react. George has absolutely no ability right now to react to Moore when Moore comes on the inside.
Good jabs again by Moore, who's dominating this round. And now you see the left eye of Foreman beginning to get pretty puffy underneath. He's eaten a lot of jabs on that side.
Martin, or Cooper, Evander Holyfield, it has to make you wonder, is it that all of a sudden Michael's got a great chin, or has George finally lost that famous punch?
George is going to have to get to work because he's got less than 5 rounds to go now. And he possibly already is in a position of needing some real drama. There's a right hand that forced Moore to give ground. He backs Moore into the ropes. Now wait to see if Moore here answers back. Good right uppercut from Foreman. Now Moore slaps his gloves together, and we've got some combat going on now.
Not what I would want Moore to be doing if I was Teddy Atlas right now. You took his shot, get out of there. Don't start trading with George Foreman in close while you're hurt. George is one of the great finishers.
Saw Moore give ground, and he backed into the ropes, and then Foreman was able to also come up with an uppercut.
Whoa!
Foreman wobbled across the ring. Looked like he tripped a little, though. I don't think he's hurt.
You know, a lot of what George has said about letting fighters off the hook and younger fighters off the hook is that he doesn't have necessarily the ability anymore to finish a fighter. He should have been all over Michael Moore then. Throwing 3, 4, 5 punch combination.
George Foreman in his prime, perhaps possessor of the most terrifying punch in heavyweight history.
Lifted Joe Frazier off the ground.
Good combination from Moore. Remember the 7th round of the Holyfield fight when Foreman was hurt badly at the end of that round. He had enjoyed a big opening portion of the round. So this perhaps might go according to that script, although Moore has not yet hurt Foreman badly in this round.
And in my opinion, George didn't take 1/10 of the punishment in the Holyfield fight that he's taken to this point.
Now Moore appears to have things back in control once again.
And stealing the round back from George.
He may very well do that now after Foreman held him to clear advantage in the opening minute and a half of this round.
George has got to let that right go. He's there. Mora's there for him to throw to right.
Big exchange, combination from Moore. Round 8 comes to a close.
Knock out George or not. Building up a nice lead here. Don't get careless and move to your right and stay away from George's right hand. And so far he's listening to Teddy.
Good right hand by Moore and follows it up with an uppercut. Michael Moore, obviously, through the years, as he's come up to the heavyweight, has continued to develop as a fighter. And while he does not possess the same devastating punch that he did as a light heavyweight, he's improved in his skills as well. And so that has enabled him to reach this lofty plateau where he now sits.
On a skill level, you got to say he improved 200%. He didn't have a devastating jab as a light heavyweight.
To land an effective blow through the first minute and a half. There's a jab from George.
Now he's got a little bit of what, if you would have tried to choreograph the fight in advance, this is a little bit more of what you expected. He's got George chasing him. He's moving to his right. He's using the jab. He's not going in and trading with George as he had done in the earlier rounds, Richard.
Foreman almost squared right up to him. You know, in addition to all the skills that we just talked about him developing, obviously his confidence has been built to the point where he's supremely confident when he enters a ring.
Well, at this point, he beat Evander Holyfield at heavyweight. He's gotten up off the floor from heavyweight punches. He's got greatly developed boxing skills, and I don't think we can measure at this point how much Teddy Atlas has had an effect on Michael Moore also as a fighter on the confidence level and taking him out from this dark, brooding figure to make him feel good about himself.
That dark, brooding figure still is much of the public persona of Michael Moore, which is why he remains a great mystery to many boxing fans. He probably has a lower profile than any heavyweight champion that I can recall. Right hand to the body by Foreman as the round comes to an end. Argument for George for one round there, or two perhaps, but where they were fairly close. But obviously he is well behind and he's got to pick it up. Angelo Dundee, of course, was in a similar situation with Muhammad Ali against Larry Holmes, a guy well past his prime, taking on a champion in his prime. Ali got into cosmetic, beautiful shape. Everybody saw Ali, and they all went running to the betting windows to bet on him, driving the odds down, much the way that the odds were driven down in this fight when they saw Foreman look in reasonable shape. And now George, following the advice of Angelo Dundee, has come out here strong in round number 10. Looking to land that right. There's a left hook that he finally landed tonight. You know, that's a tremendous punch for George when he can land it, but it hasn't been there for him.
Very tough punch, though, to land against the southpaw, Rich. And that takes a big part of George's arsenal away, but at his age, did he really take the time, though, to work on something else that would work against the southpaw as some other challenger might do? He just figured it's another fighter, left-handed, right-handed, this is the way I fight. And like you said,
there's the left hook from Foreman. That one rattled Moore a little bit. And another punch from Foreman and another left hook. And Moore's leg actually slipped out from underneath him. So again, I think Moore has felt the power of Foreman, what power is left even in round 10 of a fight in which he is desperately behind. And Teddy Atlas concerned in the corner.
Well, another reason that the left hook is landing is Teddy said to Michael, move all the time to your right now and stay away from the right hand. So George had to adapt, and there he goes. He's walking into the left hook.
George Foreman enjoying his best round of the fight here in round 10. There's a right hand. Down goes Moore. He's flat on his back. He may not get up.
Not maybe. He's not moving.
Moore could be about to lose the heavyweight title.
I don't believe this.
Joe Cortez pulls off the count.
It's over.
It is over.
Holy
and George Foreman has pulled off the miracle that no one thought possible. George Foreman, unbelievably, miraculously, is once again the heavyweight champion of the world. Now let's take a look at the replay.
Watch for the beautiful left hook, right hand combination. He walked right into the left hook, followed by the right. Teddy Atlas kept saying to him, move only to your right. George adapted by Mora only moving to his right, which now finally allowed George to start landing the left hook, which we didn't see for the first 8 rounds. Mora out cold.
You asked several times during the fight if Foreman's punch deserted him. It turned out not to be the case. There's that right hand going in on Moore. Down goes Moore. And Arnie, I think we could all tell that as soon as he hit the canvas, he was done. It was over.
The experts said coming into this fight that if Foreman hit Mora the way he was hit by Bert Cooper, that he would not get up.
And the winner, and once again, heavyweight champion of the world, Big George.